I'm actually back. I'm not actually in the coffin yet, and I've uploaded and decided to upload a video now. Bitcoin is chilling at about 105k and everybody's crying. Understandably so, because their altcoins are actually bleeding again. They did have a massive pump and they were pumping, but the altcoins now are bleeding whilst Bitcoin is in this channel, and a little bit of fear, I wouldn't say it's major fear, but a little bit of fear has come into the market, because if we look at this part here, there is a little bit of a channel going on around this region. It keeps bouncing off around 100k and going all the way up to about 105 and going into and out of it before we get a decision whether it's going to go up or down. Now, like I say, alts are bleeding a little bit. For example, if we look at alts that we have, for example, Casper, that is actually looking quite strong, to be honest. That's not like the majority of altcoins, and I'm actually in profit for this already then, for Casper. I should have bought more yesterday. I thought that wick was going to lead to it going lower, but I guess I was wrong. And if we look at the fear and greed index, 68, we're still in greed. The liquidations look like there's more shorts now on the 30-day, especially more so on the 7-day and on the 1-day. So it looks a little bit more even. If we're going to have to pick, I'd be slightly favouring a move towards the downside. But even then, it'd only be very slight. Now what we need to do is look over the whole of Twitter, crypto Twitter, because we haven't looked at this for a while. So we'll see if it is going to be a little bit of a longer video, or if we're just going to focus on the basic fundamentals. And it starts with alt season, because that's what we're all looking for. If you deep it, that is the most important thing, in my opinion. If we look here at this, so I think all BTC pairs will bleed going into summer, maybe a local low in June, then another low in late October, early November. If the cryptoverse gets an alt season, it would probably only happen after alt BTC pairs go to the range lows. Notice that the last two alt seasons occurred from lower alt BTC levels than we are at now. Yeah, so they have to bleed, man. I think there is potentially more downside. And, you know, genuinely speaking, I think being out of the market and doing nothing at this period of time is probably better than actually buying, because there is a lot more room for downside, especially on altcoins, because we think they might have bled, but they might have not bled as much as this here, because it always touches that yellow line, so there might be a lot more blood to go. Most meme charts are breaking higher against BTC. Most utility charts are not. No reason to fade the strongest alt season sector, which is memes. Memes are crazy, bro. Memes are making people rich. Do not get it twisted. Brett, which hasn't even got a Coinbase listing, I've seen it 4x in like a couple of weeks. 4x, bruh, on a meme coin, and people are violating this. It's crazy, man. 3x, whatever, same thing. They saw the close of BTC. I saw the close of USDT. We are not the same. Have fun Monday. She thinks we're going to go to 95k. Well, that was wrong, because we didn't go down that much. And people are just speculating. They pretend like they know what they're talking about, but they don't, because they don't know what's going to happen in this next scenario. I like this sort of scenario because they give you multiple scenarios. Scenario 1, pull back to sub 3.1 trillion. That does seem reasonable. And then pump. Scenario 2, we're going to target daily equilibrium at 2.85 trillion. Either way, your alts will go down 15 to 30%. Considering all the uncertainty, I believe scenario 2 is more likely. It's a patience game now, and the final boss to get through. Yeah, we need to get through this last bit. That's why I'm not fully going back in. I mean, I took profits at the local top in Euphoria when I knew things were pumping out of proportion, because we hadn't seen a pump in a while. And now I'm just I've made a few buys, but they've been small buys. I will not be entering this market unless I see major fear again, which hopefully we should get on scenario 2. It's crazy to think if you buy 5k worth of Casper at 10 cents and it drops to 5 cents, you only lose 2.5k. On the contrary, if you buy 5k and it pumps to 10 cents, oh yeah, that's mad. If you buy 5k of Cas at 5 cents and it pumps to 10 cents, you've gained 5k. Always more gain to lose. More to gain than lose. That's why I want it at 5 cents. Will it go back down to 5 cents? I do not know. I hope so. I genuinely hope so, but I don't think we'll see that sort of level again. We may come close though. We might see 6 or 7 cents. Then again, if I'm thinking that, so I've got to think like I am a retail trader and what smart money would think. They'll have accumulated all down here. If we come down, maybe even like 8 cents, I'll be accumulating again because other people will be waiting for 5 or 7 cents because of this pump. Rightio. BTC Weekly. Bulls have been in control and have repeated this for the past month whilst everyone called for pullbacks. If the bulls want to remain in control, they must continue to push the price higher based on the highest weekly candle close ever and the weekly RSI being below the prior high. Avoid weekly pullbacks, push the weekly RSI above the December 2024 highs. If unable to, then weekly bearish divergence will be created. BTC is now on the clock and probably needs to make a move to 120 to 130k in the coming weeks to make a higher high on the RSI and avoid any weekly bearish divergence from being confirmed. We can't have a bearish divergence, bro. Pump. USDT breaking down, dump it. I didn't know there was a USDT market cap dominance. USDT market. Yeah, there is. 4% dominance. That's madness, bruh. What is like the all-time of this? Most of these times when it's a lot higher. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. It looks like it may go higher though. Especially on the stochastic on the weekly. I don't trust these indicators anymore. They've been lying to me. I don't even trust charts. You can trust high lows and trend lines, but apart from that, indicators and everything like that is just garbage. Respectfully, you're not locked in. I see you constantly talking about random stuff all day long and doing no research on any coin ever. This should be a wake-up call to take this seriously if you want to change your life. Facts, man. This might be our one and only opportunity. Do not buy a house unless you're a millionaire. Rent for now. Wait for a 2008 type market crash to buy your first house. Listen, don't go into debt now. That's facts. I'm already in debt, but let's not talk about that. So, if we go to Telegram web and we move over to Gem Hunters. Where the hell is Gem Hunters? I'm sure they gave us a market update. Here we go. Daily Bitcoin analysis played out exactly as we predicted. From our last update, it closed the weekly above 102.7 and hit 106k. Since then, it's pulled back. RSI and stochastic RSI cooling off. Once the stock market opens Monday, we'll know a lot more. Now it's about practicing patience. Yeah, it's true. The stock market did open red, I think. But then it closed green on the day. The stock market is actually so trash. I hate the stock market. To be honest, I hate the crypto market as well, unless it's giving me and printing me loads of money. Let's be real. You guys are here for the lovely projects, but I'm just here to make money. I'll do the research and see what's going to hold and what isn't just going to get dumped over the short term, like all the Dex Screen and meme coins. But still, I'm still taking my dough when it comes. Have you ever DCA'd a coin to zero? Bruh, that's mental, bruh. Holy no. Thankfully not.
For some reason, I can't get rid of it. But basically, the long-term chart of ETH is a thing of beauty. I've never kind of lost the faith in ETH. I just haven't invested in it much, except by the longer-term thing. I mean, I think the entire financial system builds on ETH. I think there's no other chain that they will build on top of to the depth that they will here. But this chart, we'll get rid of all this DMARC indicator stuff that nobody understands except me. No, I can't.
I definitely do not understand.
For some reason, I can't get rid of it. But basically, this is a flag pattern. When this goes, ETH has its next move up, wherever it goes to. That's a shocking chart if this plays out, because it will change everybody's narrative again about ETH. I still think ETH from here could outperform Solana. It's possible. It's possible. Just because what I think is coming is as the financial system comes, you don't get fired for building on ETH. My idea is ETH is Microsoft. I've never been to a bank, an insurance company, a large corporate that has Apple Macs. It's all on Microsoft. Why? Because it's an operating system that everybody can use, and you can hire people, fire people, bring in new people, and they don't have to learn something new. But if you were to build the entire financial system on SUI, everyone has to learn a move language. There's less number of developers. It's not had the Lindy effects that ETH has. Now, also the banks love a layer two because they feel like they've got control over certain things, but it still has the finality of settlement to the layer one. So I think ETH is probably going to shock people going forwards. But, XRP looks like it will too, and so does Doge. So it's kind of like everything's correlated.
Yeah.
But if we can break that high, if we can break that, let's say 4,300 high, it's going to really explode.
Yo, at least he's not biased. Imagine that, bro. Can't wait. Eve, you gotta start moving and pump my Omikami bags, bruh.
Crypto history. Reason one, we're in the this is why the next 6 months will be the biggest in crypto history. Reason one, we're in the 4th year of a 4-year cycle. Historically, this is when the biggest moves happen. Reason two, Bitcoin has finally broken above 100K and the move towards 200K has begun. Reason three, we are in the middle of a meme coin super cycle and the biggest, craziest moves haven't happened yet. This is why the next 6 months will be the big.
Holy, bruh.
Go and then went to 600 billion. If you ask me, Apple Computer is going to $2,000 a share, right? I mean, I'd be very, very long that company. Whoever's selling that stock must be a moron. Right? I mean,
Michael Saylor, bro, he's never gonna change. CME gap for Ethereum on the downside 1,750, on the upside 3,300. If we're thinking worst case scenario, which we have to because we're investors and we have to be pessimistic, we have to expect Ethereum to go to 1,750 as well as enabling it to go to 3,300. If it goes to 1,750, will you be prepared to buy? That's the question. I might buy a bit more Mikami when it goes to that level. Bitcoin is beautiful. It is genuinely beautiful. It could go crazy, bruh. Could genuinely go crazy. Bitcoin weekly MACD has shifted. Golden cross. What happened the last couple of times when we had a golden cross? We flew. That's mad. That is genuine madness. Tesla versus other electric car companies. It's way too superior. Is Tesla still flying? Because you don't want to buy high, sell low. There's no point buying something if you're not going to make money on it just because you like the company. Yeah, it's pumping like crazy, bruh. That's madness. Holy, I should have bought. It's not addiction.
Work small enough to where... What's my net worth? Big enough to not work, small enough to where I can't spend money like I used to. I can't light money on fire anymore. Am I 8 figures? No, dude. If I were still 8, not after taxes, I'm going to be fucked. No. I'm in pain. I'm in agony. I need to actually win again. I'm doing horrific right now. What was my peak? More. It was fucking more. I don't want to think about my peak. Let's not ask about my peak. I could have just stopped trading at my peak. I literally could have just, I don't know, sailed off into the sunset, done whatever. But if you make money as a degenerate at your peak, you will still be a degenerate. You can't just eliminate the degenerate out of your DNA. So naturally, I gambled all my fucking money. What's my net worth? Big enough.
That's the problem with the degenerate deck screener deadbeat gambling. Eventually you're going to lose all your money. All these people in the trenches here thinking they're going to make it out, how many are going to get out? It's all rugged, it's all scripted. You don't know who the devs are, you don't know when they're going to dump on you, and the insiders make all the money. Don't be, please, that person. Have a long-term thesis, although we don't have much time as well because of AI. ETH is dead, ETH is a scam, ETH is a coin, and yet it's back inside the range. Bullish MACD cross confirms it. Ethereum never died. He just shook out the weak hands. Damn. Brett. Bought some Brett before it runs to billions. Brett will probably run to billions because Ethereum is looking hella bullish. Are you willing to take the risk? That's the only choice, bruh. We have to. What's the other choice? Bull is on a mission.
We need to get the spaceship's plans from the SpaceX facility.
What?
No way, they're making full-on videos from Bull. I actually really rate this meme coin, it's just performing horrifically. Thankfully I didn't touch it, I sort of knew that it was a scam.
Huh? What?
I fully knew it was a scam. You know when Crash first promoted this meme coin, I knew it was a scam because too many people pumped it and it went up too hard. I knew the long accumulation would just send people to panic selling. Brett is coiling up. KYC needs to stop. Coinbase victim of cyber. It's actually disgusting. Yeah, it does need to stop. Apart from that, the Coinbase 50 index is entering the S&P 500.
Altcoins. Reason 1. Strong meme coins give normal people a chance to win. Reason 2. Meme coins are already outperforming everything this cycle. Reason 3. People are realizing that all coins in crypto have always been meme coins all along. Now, it's all about figuring out which coins have the strongest community. This is why meme
It's true. It is sort of true. The majority is garbage in crypto. And nobody's willing to research it. We're all degenerates. Don't be afraid to take the shot. You can't hit a home run if you never swing. Facts. Casper doing its thing again. One of the movers of the cycle, and it's showing why. Already up 130% from local bottom and holding up strong. We did see a big sell volume yesterday, but I'm honestly glad the price didn't react with wild volatility and instead stayed solid. That usually hints at a healthy structure, even if we do see a bit of sideways consolidation or a small correction ahead. But with ADX sitting at 40, the trend is still strong, and a fresh rally could be around the corner. I wanted to retest. It did actually retest this, but I wanted to retest this, but that's never going to happen, I don't think. Even the EMA, oh, it's tested that already, flip's sake. Ethereum just completed Wyckoff Spring. That 1.4k wick, pure capitulation. 4k ETH is back on the table. You ready? Because the whales are. The Fed has already started printing money. All that's left for them to cut rates. Holy moly. Crypto exchange eToro has officially gone public on the Nasdaq.
Okay, what do you think the price of Bitcoin tops at this cycle?
Oh, again, very difficult question. Somewhere between 500K to a million, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think the price of Bitcoin?
500k to a million. Trump going to remove crypto taxes. You just know MF is going to do it. Donald Pump. That is madness, bro. The more I see this, the more it makes me excited. There is even a potential to still get rich off Bitcoin. It's actually madness. It's actually madness. I don't understand why it's so paused though. Like, it seemed like we were going into an alt season, but then it's just paused. Everything's just died. This is the sort of thing which has to happen for an alt season to occur, and you have to stay here when times are like this. But still, let's look at Ethereum, because it does literally depend on Ethereum. My Ethereum chart is horrific. I don't even want to pull up this graph. Maybe we are going to reset, test that 200 and go higher. It doesn't want to really go down because the buyers are literally buying up these wicks though. Alt season? Maybe?